welcome back to Philosophy is an Accusation. This week in my cosmology and culture class, we began to study Dante's Paradisio, which I suppose you could say is part 3 of Dante's Divine Comedy. I didn't have to interpret one specific canto, so I did have time to actually explore the entire work of Dante's Paradisio. My professor, Dr. K, did an excellent job giving the lecture that accompanied it. And then we were assigned a few discussions online, one of which pertained to beauty. And the question was, what do I personally find beauty? Or what is my personal definition of beauty? How is it or isn't it always recognizable? And then what is the difference between the object and its beauty? Then, as we described beauty, we had to keep in mind that difference. That's very challenging. When you think about beauty, you tend to think about objects that you find beautiful, which thankfully was part of the question. I just started making a list of everything that I found to be beautiful. Let's see, actually, I started making this pretty little poster of beauty because I like to be creative. Finding beauty in Dante's Inferno / Paradisio. The stars and the moons, the sky and the heavens, those are all things that I find to be beautiful. And with that nature and the earth and these gorgeous mountains I get to look out at every day, that is beautiful. I find my first thought when I was thinking about what I find beautiful is wisdom. I find wisdom to be beautiful, captivating. Freedom is beautiful. Experience is beautiful, and I think that you can't have freedom without experience. And then I did meditate a little bit on how beauty is represented in Dante's Inferno. It's not necessarily a question that we examine until we start to approach heaven, understandably, but still there's something captivating in the Inferno, and things that I find beautiful from that sphere are fire, and in that the sun, although I suppose you could say that the sun is more of a heavenly body, but when you think about fire, it comes correlated with the sun. I think destruction can be beautiful, and chaos can be beautiful. At some point, I heard while studying Dante that heaven is what God makes of us, and hell is what we make of ourselves. We hear that hell is other people. Whoa, what a crazy concept. No wonder I live alone. I will just read a little bit of Dante's Paradisio for you, and I'm actually just going to skip right to the end because I thought that these last few stanzas were the most beautiful. O light, eternal fixed in self alone, known only to yourself, and knowing self, you love and glow, knowing and being known. That circling which, as I conceived it, shone in you as your own first reflected light, when I had looked deep into it, a whole, seemed in itself and in its own self-color to be depicted with man's very image. My eyes were totally absorbed in it. As the geometer who tries so hard to square the circle but cannot discover, think as he may the principle involved, so did I strive with this new mystery. I yearned to know how could our image fit into that circle. How could it conform? But my own wings could not take me so high. Then a great flash of understanding struck my mind, and suddenly its wish was granted. At this point, power failed high fantasy, but like a wheel in perfect balance turning, I felt my will and desire impelled by the love that moves the sun and the other stars. Thank you very much for tuning in. Please, if you have a Gmail account, it's super easy to hit that subscribe button, and that would help me in all of my efforts a lot. So thank you very much. Have a great rest of your week, and remember to stop and appreciate the beauty that you are surrounded by every day is my free advice to you.